Hi everyone, it's Maggie and I am here with a new project share, and this is the project share that I said in my last video was out of my comfort zone. And it's I think you'd call it an inverted mixed media canvas. And this was for a challenge that Paula in the ShaBling group on Facebook, which I'll put a link to the group in the description box. The challenge for September was to do something on the opposite side of the canvas that you would use. So this is what I came up with. And if there was any inspiration for it, then I would have to say it was Anna, who is Finnabear. I don't really know of anyone else that, well, I guess she's just the queen of, doing this type of thing and with the sprays and everything. So I guess I'll just leave it at that. Not that this is anywhere near in the realm of her work, but I have watched some of her videos. We were friends on scrapbook.com years ago before she got into all the amazing things she does now. So I will say that she is the inspiration. And so I don't even know if I can tell you exactly what I did, but I can kind of, give you the highlights. So the first thing I did was I gessoed the canvas, and then I just started gluing some things down. The first is this mailbox, and it's also like a sign, but I ended up covering it up with flowers. And you can't see much of it because I did go over quite a bit, but that's the Prima sign and mailbox. And that was the first thing I put down, and then I went from there. I don't know if you can tell, but these are like little houses, and they're from Tattered Angels, and they're mistables, and there's trees. So I just wanted it to kind of make it look like a, just some type of scene. And like I said, I don't even know really where I was going until I added the houses and the trees, and then I added the owl. This is a metal owl charm, and then the little fairy on the moon. She's supposed to be, kind of up in the sky, I guess. And then I started adding flowers, paper flowers from Wild Orchid Crafts. These beaded, it's in the flower family, but I'm not quite sure. I'm trying to think. They weren't Prima, and I can't think of who the vendor was, but I put some of these down, tried to make it kind of look like just almost like I was thinking of like a forest or something I get. And here's another little tree. Here's a little tiny metal butterfly. I added flowers here and there, like I said, from Prima. And then this is just a little metal charm frame. And let's see. Then what I did was I just took gesso and I pounced it all white. I gessoed it all white. And it took a couple of layers, but I did get the color out of, a lot of the flowers were already white, but a couple of them were different colors, so I needed to get that white back. And then after that, I just started spraying, and I used I think those were that I used at first were Tattered Angels also. I first used a purple, then I used a blue, and then I used a green, which you can see some of the green. But I didn't like how it looked at all. I thought it really didn't look very good. So I got the gesso out, and I didn't gesso the whole thing. I just gessoed. It's a different green than this green you're seeing here. And so I just gessoed those parts that I hit the green with. It was just the wrong color green. And so I re-gessoed that, and then I just started over again. And then I switched to, I can't tell you exactly which ones, but I used some distress inks and not the inks, the bottles of stain. That's what it was, distress stains from Tim Holtz. And I used some dilutions because the dilution sprays have a deeper color. So I took out another purple and I sprayed that again. And then I took out a couple of the stains, distress stains from Tim Holtz, and those are dabbers, so I just dabbed in places. And then I took out a different green, and that's a little bit you see here. And I'm trying to think. I think that was also a dilution. And so you can see where the splashes went when I first sprayed. So I have to learn how to, if I'm going to do this again, to spray without getting these, splotches at the beginning. But once it went smooth and I just kept, hitting the nozzle, then it started working for me. And I dabbed here and there too, like with a paper towel, so that it didn't get too saturated. And also I did wait until each color was dry, because I did learn a long time ago the hard way that if you try to use more than one color and the other color is still wet, all you're going to get is brown mud looking. So I did wait until each color was completely dry. And I kept putting it down and going back to it. I didn't try to do it start to finish. I kept going back to it. It actually took me a couple of days before I was, really happy with it. And so then the last thing I did was, once I was finished, I knew the spraying was done. I took watered down gesso and I just went over a couple of spots with the white, just to bring a little bit of white back. And, oh, I know, I also used a silver, it's a wax, a silver wax, and I just went over the top, and I don't know if you can see some of it. So that part is, I went over the owl too, but I didn't want to lose all the color, so I just went over places lightly, but it was a silver wax. And then the last thing I did was I added these acrylic flowers here and there, just so that it brought some more color back out, because I didn't want it to look muddy. So anyways, this is it. I like how it came out. I don't like the splotches. I don't know if, they're supposed to be there or not. But anyways, this is what I did, and I'm going to own it. This is it. So, yeah, it was way out of my comfort zone, but I did have a really good time doing it, and I will do it again, because when I went to buy the canvas at Michael's, they were having a huge sale, and it was 10 canvases for $10, so they were $1 each. I couldn't pass that up, so I have 9 more left. I won't do them all at once, but I will try to do another one here and there, and maybe I'll try something a little different. But, yeah, that's it. I think I covered everything, the highlights of what I did. So, that being said, if you'd like, leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. And I'll be back again soon with another project share. So, bye for now.